Okay, this is a video response to a YouTuber named Yumiverse who made a video called Will I Lose Aura If I Fall in Love? And I'm making a response video to this because this is something that keeps me up at night. Falling in love with someone and then not doing anything to better myself, and essentially the reason why I have this same fear is because I stopped becoming the person who they originally fell in love with. Because when I'm dating them, I'm being a certain way so that I'm just being myself, and then when I'm dating them, I stop trying as much because I am satisfied. And I found a loophole that I've been doing for many years, which is probably pretty bad, but I'm just admitting it on the internet because I agree with you with that how people need to be more open about, right, not always showing all the sunshine and rainbows. So my workaround is situationships. I don't get in committed relationships with people because I don't like who I am when I'm in a committed relationship. And to your point, you say that when you fall in love that you stop trying and then you do all these things and then you don't like yourself anymore. I essentially haven't gotten that far yet because I can see myself already doing those things, and so I just avoid the whole relationship entirely. And I think it probably has something to do with the fact that I was heartbroken when I was younger, but I was heartbroken when I was 19. I'm 25 now, and really like nothing's changed. So I think that might play a role with it, that I have seen myself get in a relationship and then just stop doing anything and then right getting left. So my solution has been to just not get in relationships and just keep a situationship going, which I think the consensus is that that's bad. Like I think that's like a dick move, but that's what I do anyways because I guess I'm a dick. I guess I'm a dick. And the thing, and here's why I'm selling the situationship. Here's what's actually nice about them, and why they're very enjoyable from what I've seen. And the other person, I don't know if the other person like buries their head in the sand, or I don't really know what they do, but they don't really push for something more serious. And when they do, well, we'll get to that later. But really, what is so beautiful about situationships is that because neither person knows how secure they are in this relationship, both people are putting in the most effort, and I love that. The girls that I've dated that I've been in situationships with put in so much effort, and I do too. It's not like a one-sided thing where I'm just like a piece of shit and then they like me. I'm also putting my best foot forward, and so are they. And that's how I've been able to carry on with dating and life in general while still having the same problem as you, which is losing aura if you fall in love. So now, obviously, my the way I'm going about this is not great. Like, it's not. I feel like I'm really just putting duct tape on a leaky ship. It's not a great solution, but it is a solution. And well, yeah, your video really caught my eye because I like that's question of losing aura if you fall in love. That literally keeps me up at night because I'm like, okay, great. So I can, date like, I can meet like so many people, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, if I'm required to settle down and I don't want to do that because I have a fear of, I guess, do I have a fear of being left if I settle down, or do I not like myself when I settle down? Because I'm pretty sure you said that you don't like yourself when you settle down. For me, yeah, I'm just asking myself, do I have a fear of being left, or do I have a fear of not liking myself? I mean, I think they probably go hand in hand. I think if you don't like yourself currently, you would be scared of being left. I think that's probably the ultimate fear. Alternatively, if you had the fear of not loving yourself, I don't know, kind of a tangent there. I'm not really sure where I was going with that. So, yeah, loving yourself is important, and if you're in a relationship with someone and they already love you, then why would you better yourself? I really just wanted to make this video to jam on this idea with you because it's a good one, and I don't think you actually had an answer at the end of your video, and I don't have an answer either. I have a temporary solution, which are situationships. And right, I mean, in a situationship, you like what I do is I'll usually see the person once a week. And so there's never this, like, we're spending a lot of time together, and then we're like falling in love, and then we there's like a baseline established, and then if it's like we're not hanging out all the time, they think something's wrong. Like, that never happens because our exposure to each other is just always very limited, and it's usually like a date, and then they spend the night, and then we do that like once a week. And I was in a relationship with this girl for a year and a half where we just did that, and then towards the end she wanted something more serious, of course, and I had a fear. I had a fear of losing her, and I was like, oh my God, I have to commit myself to her now, because I guess I was scared of the alternative, or I was like, oh, I was heartbroken when I was like 19, like I'm 24 now, like, surely I'll be able to handle like a committed relationship. And 2 weeks in, I couldn't. I freaked out. I was like, holy shit, this is super weird. Like, I'm not a relationship guy. Like, what am I doing in a relationship? I'm lying to myself, telling myself that I want to be in a relationship. I got in this relationship out of fear of being left, and then now I'm just, also going to be left, like, either way. I guess I would be leaving her, but, so, yeah, I guess I thought I could handle it. I thought I could handle being in a relationship, and I guess I can't, because I felt myself, like, just starting to, like, see the future, like, looking into the future. Like, the relationship I have with someone who I'm in a situationship with that I see once a week is, like, very different. I guess I take relationships very seriously, and so I don't want to get in one with someone who I don't think is, like, the perfect partner. So, like, I don't want to say it's like an interview process, but sometimes we'll be going through these interview processes where the person is like super chill and casual, and they're like, hey, look, I just want to have a casual chat with you. Don't treat this as an interview. And like, that's awesome, because that is like the best interview, because you're just lowering their guards, and then you're seeing if they're actually a good qualified candidate or not, and then you like, eject them out of the process. And that's happened to me a lot, where the interviewer tells me like, yo, dude, like, relax. He's calling me man, and it's just like casual, but it is casual, but it still affects the outcome. And I guess when I date women, I subconsciously do the same thing, where I'll still entertain them because I genuinely enjoy spending time with them. I love spending time with women, because we literally evolved to like each other. Like, men evolved to like women, and women evolved to like men. So, that's just kind of self-evident. But yeah, sometimes I'll just be like, I don't know if this person would make like a good mother, which I guess is the ultimate goal in dating, is to find a life partner. And so I just get stuck in these situations where I'm like seeing someone who would like not be a good mother, so then I'm like, who I don't think would be a good mother, so then I'm like not going to, get more serious with them. But that has nothing to do with the fact that I don't like spending time with them. And so like I just feel like there's something a bit sad there, that I'm shooting myself in the foot, but also not, because again, this is like the whole bettering yourself thing. Is that, would I be bettering myself if I was dating someone that I thought was subpar? I don't think so. And especially going in that mentality and having kids with someone that I think is like subpar, like that just doesn't make any sense. And I understand that a lot of relationship and a lot about what love is doing compromises and accepting your partner for who they are in their flaws. But if you don't accept yourself, I mean, I'm saying like I don't really accept myself with all my flaws. Of course, it's an ongoing process. I'm never going to be flawless, but the things that I see in myself that I don't like, I actively try to change them, because, yeah, why would you not do that? I actually wrote some notes here that I've totally been going off the notes that I took from your video. What are we? We're 11 minutes in. All right, fuck it. It's just going to be a little longer video. Yeah, so one of the points that I made, I was going to tie that into what I was saying, but now I forgot about that other point I was talking about. So, okay, I mean, I wrote a bullet here that says getting worse while in a relationship. Yeah, like, why would you continue to better yourself if you were in a relationship where someone already likes you? Wow, I'm like really losing my train of thought here. Okay, I'm also the villain. Okay, I wrote that as a bullet point because you called yourself a villain in your video, and I also feel like the villain for with all the people that I've dated. I feel like the villain because all they wanted was just like a nice committed relationship, and I was like, I can't do that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but I literally cannot do that because you won't like me anymore if we're in a committed relationship, because I'm going to stop being the person that you fell in love with. I will be someone else. I will be someone. But why don't I just not do that? Why don't I just not be the person who I don't want to become in a relationship? What is the issue with that? This girl was asking me, she was like, okay, like, we're in a relationship now, so, like, what changes in your brain about having a title versus not having a title? Because nothing, like, if anybody saw us interacting in public, we would obviously be boyfriend, girlfriend. But in my head, those are, like, two very separate baskets. But I combine them, which I think is an evil thing to do, but I don't know how to not do it, because now there's a mismatch of expectations where the girl thinks that you're exclusive because you're treating her like a girlfriend, but then you're not. And I'm not saying that I was not exclusive, but that's just, again, it's like it's two separate baskets in my head. And so, yeah, I think a lot of problems in a relationship, or like a lot of pain points between men and women, is the mismatch in expectations. So, for example, the dude who's in a friend zone with the woman, and then that's painful for the guy because he's like, oh my god, I want this thing, and then the woman isn't giving it. And then a woman who's dating a guy who doesn't want commitment because now she like wants something from him but he's not giving it. But in both cases, both people are like sort of stringing someone along, like, hey, we can do this, but you can't have this. So that's why it feels kind of evil. Maybe part of it has to do with the fact that when I was in high school and middle school, that was something that happened is I wouldn't really know how to be upfront about my intentions. And so I wouldn't get what I want. And then like now that I'm older and now that I understand that, I feel some kind of power, or I'm happy that I'm able to do the reverse, and not in a malicious way, but in like in an enjoyment way, like how you would be enjoying some ice cream. Don't know if that analogy is correct or not. I just ate ice cream last night and I was just thinking of something enjoyable, and I think ice cream is pretty enjoyable. So, what's another point that I wrote on here? If someone likes you, you feel you don't need to improve. Okay, I already talked about that. Oh, scared of stagnation. I think that's the ultimate thing that both of us fear, is being scared of just staying the same. Right? I guess in your case you were talking about like actively, falling backwards. And yeah, that's something that I don't want to do either. It's like, okay, well then I get a girlfriend and then I just stay at my job my whole life and then die. I mean, I don't know. I really, really don't get the point just yet. And I gave myself a timer. So basically, when I'm 35, I will settle down and I will just be serious. But for now, I am 25, and so I want to make sure that I enjoy my life and that I have as much fun as possible, so that I'm not going to be like that 35, 40-year-old dude who cheats on his wife because didn't he didn't get that out of his system like at the beginning. Like he was always resentful and he settled for someone who he didn't really like that much, and so he's like looking at other women later in life, or maybe she's not like internally really what he was looking for. I mean, there's something to be said for the fact that humans are not monogamous. Like scientifically, literally, I'm not making like a subjective claim that there are species of birds that mate for life, and those birds are monogamous. Like in the true sense of the word, they only have one mate their whole life. That's how they evolved. And humans aren't like that. They're literally not, because nobody would ever cheat if that were true. The divorce rate's like 50%. So I mean, like whatever. It's like it's very obvious, and it's very obvious that humans are polygamous, or not polygamous. They're just, at least they're not monogamous. And it was really like the church that really emphasized monogamy, because it creates a lot more organization in society. When you have one man for one woman, that's like perfect. That makes sense. But that's not how it actually is. And now, of course, like culture is an evolutionary byproduct as well. Like the way culture evolves, it evolves the same way that an organism does. Like ideas that are good persist, and ideas that are bad usually die. So, right, like I guess you could argue that monogamy could also be natural. Not sure why I went down that tangent, because that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that maybe even if someone were to like get everything out of their system, they could still end up in like a destroyed marriage, just based off of the fact that we're not monogamous, and maybe finding someone who you commit your life to is like something that's rare, or at least 50% of the people that you marry, you might stay with forever. But it's also like who you pick too. So yeah, I've talked about a wide variety of things in this video. This was way more unorganized than I expected it to, even though I took some notes and I tried to put some structure there. So sometimes what helps is if I just go back to the original point and then I can just riff off of something else. So the title of your video was, "Will I lose Ara if I fall in love?" Okay, do I have a solution? Do I have an answer? I want this to be like a town square, like people are meeting in the town square. I think that's like what the internet is cool for, that is that it's like public discourse. So yeah, do I have anything to like contribute to that? Well, I guess I shared my own experience with that and why I could relate to your video and why it keeps me up at night, because I feel like I have the same problem. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say about it other than I would like to get coffee with you because I think that you are attractive and I like your brain. I don't know why, but I feel like you're from the Bay Area from the way you talk. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I'm in San Jose, so I actually am in the Bay Area. I grew up in Florida and Hawaii, but I moved to San Jose like about 4 years ago. But anyways, we can get into that over coffee. Yeah, I'd love to get coffee with you. So this is my LinkedIn name, Rafael Santun. If you message me on LinkedIn, then I can give you my number. And I'm sorry that I'm making you do the work. Usually I try to like get people's numbers, but I feel like that would be a little complicated. So yeah, I think that would be really cool, and I think we would have a lot of fun. So hit me up, and yeah, this is my response to your video. I like your channel. I haven't seen any of your other videos except for like two, because it's kind of, I don't want it to be like I don't like it when people who know me personally look at my YouTube videos. It's kind of weird and cringe. So like I don't want to do the same thing to you, but yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. So hit me up, and I hope that everyone else enjoyed the video. All right, see everyone next time.